Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the what's next for Keith Thurman, the former unified welterweight champion of the world. He returned to action on Saturday, February 5th, when he main evented a Fox pay-per-view card. And this was his first fight in 2.5 years since he had been defeated for the first time by Manny Pacquiao back in July of 2019. He lost a split decision in that one and lost the WBA title at the same time. So he'd been out of the ring with injuries. We know COVID also happened. And he returned against Mario Barrios, the former secondary champ at 140 pounds, who was coming off the loss to Gervonta Davis. And Thurman just cleanly outworked and beat up Mario Barrios. You know, it was a very clean, unanimous decision. He didn't engage too much. He wanted to, you know, just box and get some rounds in and shake off that rust, and he did a good job of it. You know, really beating Mario Barrios to the punch consistently and breaking him down. Nice win there for Keith Thurman in his comeback. But the big question is, what's next for Keith one-time Thurman? And the truth is we really don't know. We know Terrence Crawford is interested in this fight. You know, he made that clear. He's interested in the winner. You know, I feel right now Crawford might be the front runner, but I mean, you don't know to be sure. You know, Crawford could say no, and Keith Thurman said, you know, hey, we'll see who's going to be stubborn about the purse split. You know, given the way Crawford's last fight went in terms of pay-per-view numbers, they weren't great. So he might not be able to demand that much. He might have to do a 50-50 kind of fight with Thurman. And he holds the world title, and that's the kind of fight that what's-his-name wants, Thurman wants. And I think Crawford would be down. So right now I'm going to say that's the front runner, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen, you know, with Crawford. Because, again, purse splits are going to be a big deal. I think if Crawford accepts, he should go, hey, let's split it 50-50 down the middle. Let's not even get into a big old thing about it. Let's do 50-50. Thurman's still a solid name, and this would be a consecutive former world champion that Crawford would defeat if he gets the victory. So I think it makes sense, but you never know. And Thurman also has options of being in the, you know, the top 10. He's, you know, being in with the PBC, he's got a lot of options. So, you know, Errol Spence, not likely. Well, I guess it depends on what the governing bodies let Errol Spence do next. If Errol Spence gets by Unanimous Decision, you know, he might want to fight a name like Keith Thurman. But, you know, will the governing bodies allow that fight to happen? You know, it's just kind of up in the air. We don't know, because there is a WBA final eliminator. His IBF mandatory is probably going to be due. We don't have a WBC mandatory for Errol Spence right now, but they'll probably be lenient. But he's probably going to have at least one mandatory due after the showdown, the unification bout with Unanimous Decision in April. So we got to wait and see. Not to say it's not possible. Now, Unanimous Decision, he pulls out the upset over Errol Spence. Will there be a rematch clause in the contract? Well, you know, what will come from that fight? Will he have to make mandatories? It's kind of up in the air. Danny Garcia, a rematch with him. Would Danny be interested in that before Danny officially moves up to 154? You know, he said 154 would be next, but now I'm hearing rumors of a Danny Garcia-Mikey Garcia showdown. Would Danny be interested in a rematch with Thurman? That's interesting. That'd be, it'd be interesting to explore that option. So, you know, again, you don't know. Jaron Ennis, not likely. He's an undefeated up-and-comer, and he's a big guy. I really don't think Thurman's interested. Virgil Ortiz is probably out because he's with Golden Boy. You probably won't see that one. Radza Butayev, he's got to make a mandatory against Stanionis next, and then he's supposed to be in line for the winner of Spence and Ugas. So, not likely, but hey, you don't know. Maybe Thurman goes after that. Abel Ramos just dropped out of the top 10. Keith Thurman kind of takes his place, probably higher up on the list, though. Josecito Lopez, a rematch with him. I'd like Thurman to give Lopez the rematch, especially now, but will Thurman do that? I don't know. Probably not likely. And then Connor Ben, who fights with DAZN, is next, and I don't think so. He's an undefeated up-and-comer, and like I said, you know, with Thurman, you just don't know who's going to be next on his hit list. I know he wants world champions, he wants big fights. You know, he's not a very active guy, and now that he's back, you know, barring injuries, you know, he's probably going to fight again in the second half of the year. I mean, I would bet on it. And who's the guy going to be? You know, again, I'm leaning more towards Terrence Bud Crawford, that fight right there, but you never know. Can he convince Danny to come out, or can he possibly get the winner of Spence and Ugas, depending on what the governing bodies decide to do? We just got to wait and see. But that's what I got. That's the what's next on the former unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith one-time Thurman, following his dominating 12-round unanimous decision over Mario Barrios. All right, everybody, that's it. True Boxing. You've been here with the truth.